Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrappy and Kane. Today I'm sharing an 8.5 by 11 layout. This is going to be a single photo layout of my son on a cozy fall day where he's wearing a sweatshirt and his cowboy boots. And I have these acrylic pieces from Color Cast Designs. The title piece is One Fall Day, and then there's leaves that match. And these two papers here are from a 6 by 8 collection by 49 and Market. That's the Academia collection. And then these papers are actually from my stash, and they're from 2008. They're actually older than the child that's in the photo, um, but they're getting used. And I just love them. They're the perfect fall papers. They're actually a camping collection, but the leaves I'm going to fussy cut, and then the plaid paper. This paper here is also from Cosmo Cricket, but it's from a different collection. And I'm just going to use it as a frame around the layout because it matches the acrylic pieces. This piece I wasn't sure if I was going to use as a background piece or not. I end up not using it. And here I'm just kind of showing you what I have planned so far. I haven't stuck anything down yet. I'm going to get started on the leaves so that I can put them to the side and let them dry. I already fussy cut them all out from the paper. And the orange ones were like bigger leaves or like little trees, I guess, little plants. But I decided just to cut the leaves because I want to be able just to put that color around the layout and not necessarily put it in one big clump. So I went ahead and just fussy cut them out, and then I'm just splattering white acrylic paint on them. And I was going to hold them up, but the glare was blocking it so much you couldn't really see it in the camera. But you'll definitely see them in the close-ups and here when I add them to the layout. So first I'm getting started. I'm going to place this frame on this piece of the paper. And then I'm going to use the brown cardstock as my guide to frame the rest of the layout. So it's going to have multiple frames around the photo. And again, it's just a single photo, but I wanted the leaves and the acrylic pieces to stand out more. So adding all the different pattern papers in the background just helps that happen. So here I'm making a frame around with a maroon colored paper. And I could have probably actually just went ahead and used it. That paper is also, I believe, from 2008. Um, but I do have other papers that actually match that collection. So if I want to use those papers at a later date, I won't have any of this paper to use. So that was my reason for doing the frame versus just using a piece of pattern paper behind it. And so you can see I'm just putting the double-sided tape down first and then adding the pieces. And then I'm going to add this one at the top, and then I'll add one more at the bottom. And pretty much, I didn't really use the brown paper to help me frame it. Um, I did kind of lay it on it at one point to make sure it was going to be correct, but I ended up just eyeballing it, and it's okay in the end. It's even. Again, I'm pretty good at eyeballing the straight lines. I'm not very good at eyeballing a circle. So here I'm going to snip the little edges, or I already did. I snipped the corners to make it look more like a frame, and then I also inked those corners so they stand out and it actually looks like a picture frame is what I was going for. So I'm going to use the black cardstock again to mat this piece of paper, and that's just to make the pattern paper pop a little bit more off of the background and make it look like it's even, it almost looks like it's 3D in the end. But the only thing that's really dimensional is the acrylic pieces. All of this is not popped up. This is just paper on top of paper. And Cosmo Cricket was pretty good weight paper. It's not super thin, but it's not super heavy. It's a little bit lighter than 49 and Market, but heavier than some of the other like paper pad papers. So here I'm going to use the books that are just stacked up and then the numbers. And the reason for that is because he's actually at work with me. He's standing outside of my school bus is behind him, so you can kind of see that in the background. And that will be what I will add to the layout when I add just a little bit of journaling down at the bottom as far as, where we were and when the picture was taken. But I'll do that off camera. And here again, I'm just splattering a little bit more white acrylic paint before I add the leaves on, because I wanted the white acrylic paint to also be on the background. I'll hold it up and kind of show this one to you since it's all tacked down. I'm going to go ahead and mat my photo while that's drying. The acrylic paint doesn't take very long to dry, so I was just matting my photo, and then I'll bring it back in, and it is dry and was a little bit longer than that showed. I actually went and did a load of laundry and came back. But here I'm just putting the photo right kind of in the middle, a little bit lower to the bottom, because it's not the exact size to fit in the frame. And that's fine. Up at the top, I'm going to stack some leaves up here. And you can see I'm just pulling from the ones that I fussy cut and adding them up here. I wasn't trying to add like the exact same ones right next to each other or right across from each other. I was kind of trying to do it random. So that's why I'm just tucking them in and laying them down. And I just didn't want two of the same color to be right next to each other unless there was another one, either one of the little orange ones or a yellow one in between them. And that's all I did. I went over here to the left hand side and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tuck in some leaves and add leaves, put them down, and then that's actually going to be where my title is going to go. So I'm going to keep adding the leaves, and then I'll bring in the title piece just to make sure that you can't see any of them, or wherever you can see behind the acrylic piece, the leaves are visible behind it, because I think that kind of gives it a cool look. And then down here on this corner, I'm going to add some more. And again, it's the 3 spots, so there's a triangle around the photo, and it just makes your eye go around the photo. And I love using acrylic pieces. These are probably one of my favorite embellishments, and they usually make the layout very quick and easy. I also brought in some white acrylic hearts. These are also from Colorcast Design, and that was just to add a little bit of white to the other 2 clusters. And I figured using another piece of acrylic was perfect. So that's what I'm doing here, and then I'm laying some of the acrylic leaves. I only pulled out the maroon colored acrylic leaves just because that's what the fall word is made out of. So I wanted to add that color a little bit more besides the frame, and then his jacket is that color. So here I'm pulling in some sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps, and I believe this is Latte Love. Yes, that's Latte Love. It's a sequin mix that was an older one, but it's a brown mix, and I thought it was perfect. So I am just laying them down at random and just kind of placing them around the layout. Everything is glued down. I paused the camera and glued everything down, and then came back to add the sequence with you guys. And that's going to pretty much be it. Once I add all the sequence, I will be done. Sorry, was interrupted there at the end. But this is pretty much the end. Everything from Colorcast Designs, I will leave her link down below. And some of them might still be available. I know the hearts are still available. I'm not sure about the leaves or the title piece, One Fall Day. But she does have lots of other acrylic pieces that are still available. She also has subscription boxes, and she has pieces that you can just buy straight out of the shop. But I get her monthly box, so I'm not sure what's actually available on the website right now. But anyways, they're great pieces, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's layout. Bye!